I've spent years studying how wealth is built in Europe, and one of the most consistent findings across the people who actually achieve financial freedom is that they use real estate as one of their core vehicles. Real estate gives you three things at the same time that almost no other asset class does. It can generate monthly income, it appreciates in value over time, and in many European countries, it comes with significant tax advantages. In this video, I'm going to share 4 proven methods of getting wealth in Europe using real estate. And make sure you stay until the end because the last method does not even require you to get a mortgage. So the first strategy is called buy and hold. And in my view, for most people who want long-term financial freedom through real estate, this is the foundation. Buy and hold is exactly what it says. You buy a property, you rent it out, and you hold it for years. This strategy gives you 3 separate wealth building mechanisms working at the same time. The first is monthly rental income, cash coming into your account every single month. The second is property appreciation. The value of your assets grows over time even while you sleep. And the third, and this is the one most people underestimate, is mortgage pay down. You take out a mortgage on a rental property. Your tenant's rent covers your monthly repayment. So someone else, your tenant, is paying down your debt every single month while your property increases in value. At the end of that mortgage term, you own an asset outright, and it was paid for almost entirely by someone else's money. Now, buy and hold only works if you buy smart. Location is very important. Not every area rents equally well. Not every property type has consistent demand. So before you commit, you need to understand your rental market. Who is your tenant? Students, young professionals, or families? What is the vacancy rate in that neighborhood? However, the advantage of this strategy are well documented. You earn monthly income. Your property appreciates over time. Mortgage interest is often tax deductible. Renovation costs are also often tax deductible, and it is recession resistant because people always need somewhere to live. The goal with buy and hold is not one property, it is a portfolio. You buy the first property, it generates positive cash flow. That cash flow and the growing equity fund your second purchase, then your third, and that is how you move from salary to financial freedom. So the second strategy is called flipping. I like buy and hold. Flipping is a short-term play. The goal is to generate a large amount of cash in a short period of time. So the first flipping method is the renovation flip. You find a property that needs work, let me say renovation, modernization, or sometimes just cosmetic updates like new floors, fresh paint, or a kitchen refresh. You buy it below market value, you do the renovation, and then you sell it at a profit. The goal of the renovation is simple: increase the market value of the property. This method works particularly well if you are a contractor or someone who is handy with renovation. But even if you're not handy with renovation, this can still work if you plan it well and build the right team around you. So the discipline here is the numbers. Before you even make an offer, you need to know 3 figures: your maximum purchase price, your realistic renovation budget, and your expected resale value. If those 3 do not produce a meaningful margin, you just walk away. Now let's talk about tax, because a lot of people are worried about capital gains tax on a flip. But what many people don't realize is that in many European countries, the taxable amount is not simply calculated on the difference between what you paid and what you sold for. It is calculated on a much smaller amount. Let me give you a concrete example using Belgium. Say you buy a property for 100,000 euros and sell it 2 years later for 160,000 euros. Your gross gain is 60,000 euros. But before any tax calculated, you are allowed to deduct the following. First, a flat purchase cost allowance of 25% of the purchase price, and that is 25,000 K. Second, your documented renovation cost. Let's say you use 20,000 euros to do renovation. Third, a 5% reduction for each full year you held the property. So 2 full years means further 10% reduction, which is 10,000 10,000 euros. After all those deductions, your taxable gain is significantly reduced, and in Belgium, if you sell within 5 years, that remaining gain is taxed at 16.5%. One more thing worth knowing: if you buy and sell properties frequently, you can register as a professional buyer in many European countries. In Belgium, for example, instead of paying 14% registration tax when purchasing a second property as a private individual, you pay only 4% if you register as a professional buyer. The condition is that you complete at least 3 property sales within 5 years of registering. So the second way to flip a property is called the quick flip, and it requires less capital. This one happens before the property is ever formally registered through a notary. So here is how it works. You find an undervalued property and sign a purchasing agreement with the seller at a below market price. But instead of completing the purchase yourself, you find another buyer who is willing to pay more than what you agreed with the original seller, still below full market value. And you transfer the contract to them. You never renovate, you never even move in, you simply pocket the difference. You typically have a few months to find your new buyer before the notary formalizes the sale. Because the registration costs, which in many European countries of the purchase price, are paid by your final buyer and not by you, your margin is protected from the start. What makes this work is 3 things: knowing your local market values very well, being able to negotiate with motivated sellers, and also having a network of buyers who are ready to move quickly. So the third strategy is the one I found most underrated, and it does not require you to get a mortgage. It's called a life annuity purchase, and it's more common across Europe than most people realize. So here is how it works. You buy a property from an elderly seller. Instead of paying the full price up front, you pay a smaller lump sum at signing, typically between 10 and 20% of the agreed value, and then a fixed monthly payment to the seller for a set number of years, or in some cases for the rest of their life. Here is a simple example. Imagine a property worth 200k euros. You agree to pay 30,000 euros as a lump sum at signing, and then 700 euros per month for a fixed term of 15 years. So over 15 years, your total payment comes to 30k euros plus 126k euros, a total of 156k euros. You have acquired a 200,000k euros property for 156,000 euros without even going to the bank for a mortgage. So from the seller's perspective, usually an older homeowner who owns their property outright, this is a way to unlock the value of what they have built while continuing to live in it. They receive a lump sum today, a monthly income on top of their pension, and security. In many European countries, that monthly payment is also tax-free for a private individual seller, so it is a good deal for them. From your side as a buyer, the critical thing is how the contract is structured. If the contract is open-ended, meaning you pay until the seller passes away, it becomes speculation, no investment. You cannot model the return because you do not know the timeline. The way to make this a real investment is to negotiate a fixed term, 15 years, 20 years, a clear capped duration. That way you can calculate exactly what you are paying in total, compare it to market value, and decide whether the numbers make sense. The main limitation to be aware of: until the contract ends, you do not have full ownership freedom of the property. You cannot sell it, renovate it freely, or occupy it without the seller's agreement. But for someone with limited upfront capital who is willing to be patient and structured, the life annuity is an underused route into property ownership. So the strategy that is right for you, depending on where you are financially right now, your capital, your time, your skills, and your goals. If you find this useful, you may also like the video I have linked above on 5 strategies on how to build wealth in Europe despite high taxes. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.